Hi, I'm Mac McCarthy, and I help people with their breakups. Let me know if you like it. I'm going to do some more stuff like this. If you are going through a breakup right now, go ahead and visit writemac.com, WRITEMAC.com. Send your story, and I can give you my take on that. Otherwise, have a good one. So, my ex came back. Now what? Number one, be cool, man. If you can't be cool, and I mean not like you're trying so hard to be cool, but indifferent, neutral. Oh, yeah, you're not too excited. If you're not yourself, it's not going to work, okay? Because they can smell that on you, and it's not attractive. So I said, don't get too excited. If you're nervous and excited, maybe you're not ready. Think about that for a moment. And so if you're feeling that way, maybe it's not a good time for you to rekindle things. Don't ask if they've been with someone else. Okay, this is huge, and it seems to be more of an issue for men than women. But it happens a lot. Your first question is they call you, you talk, you're excited. Oh, have you talked to anyone this month? Have you been seeing anyone this month? So you're seeing other people? It doesn't go over well. First of all, women, if they did hook up with someone else, they might have a little bit of guilt, even though they didn't do anything wrong because they were single. And they probably just don't want to talk about that because a lot of men look at it like, oh, you've been hoeing around. Oh, you've been so easy. And it crushes their ego. And the reality is, if you're broken up for 2 weeks, 1 month, 2 months, you have a right to see someone else. You're an adult, right? So don't ask if they've been with someone else. I know that's difficult, but hold back from that. You don't care is the best place to be. And you don't want to damage your ego or your imagination. Because once you hear that they've been with someone else, your mind just starts putting together all these fucking stories, and it'll just go Disney on you. And you'll create all these narratives, and you don't even know if it's true. So if they mention they've been seeing someone else, say that's fine and move the conversation in a different direction. Don't even bite. You don't want to know. I had a client probably about 6 or 7 months ago, and we talked multiple times. And this guy was in his late 20s. He had a really prestigious job. He had a lot going for him. And he said his girlfriend was beautiful. They had a good relationship. They broke up. I won't get into the specifics of why they broke up. Basically, I think he was in a really good career spot, and he was expecting her to move forward. Her current job wasn't that good, and he was kind of pushing her a little bit on that. And things just got to a point where they needed to break up after 4 or 5 years, I think it was. But my point is, within a month, I think it was, 3rd week or 4th week, she calls back. They get together. They hook up. It's rose petals and wine glasses. She says, I couldn't see myself without you. Everything goes right. He says the same. The next morning, he wakes up. They're in bed together, and he goes, hey, did you see anyone else by chance? What's her response? Why are you asking me that? Why do you want to know that? Well, now he really wants to know. I just want to know. I just want to know because I didn't see anyone else this last month or 3 weeks. And she goes, well, and he goes, asks again. Finally, she crumbles and goes, yeah, there was a guy at work who the guy knows because they've met at a Christmas party or something like that. I don't know what it was. And she tells the truth. And he just becomes unglued, starts saying mean things, tells her maybe I should stay single and we should just, hook up here and there if that's how you're going to be. Basically threw this big net of guilt upon her and shame. And she told the truth, and she said it wasn't good, and she said she wished she didn't do it, and she said she had been drinking, but that didn't help because now he already knew, and now he felt like his ego is crushed, and it's almost like she cheated on him, and he wouldn't let it go. And so within a week, she was like, you know what? I don't want to get back together. I really thought I wanted to be back with you, but this whole thing with you, throwing this on me that I'd been with someone else, maybe we're not ready to be back together. And then 2 months down the road, he's calling me up. He's beside himself. He wants her back. His ego's crushed. And the fact that he can't let go of the fact that she was with someone else. Bottom line is, if you're going to get back with your ex, whatever gray area or time in between each one of you were officially single, it's none of your business. If you really want to know about that, you better careful what you wish for. Okay. Think this. Once you're broken up, you're starting over again. A lot of people don't think that, okay? You broke up, you're starting a new relationship. You broke up for a reason. Are those reasons fixable or have they been fixed? I give up the example of someone's a drug addict or they're alcoholic. It's very clear what the main problem is. So if they go into rehab, they do the right things, they say the right things, you can go, well, they're working on this problem, and it's very clear that the issue is being addressed. Now, other types of things, are different. This is a really important point about this, okay? If your ex reaches out to you and you guys go out and you have a date, they don't owe you anything. Also, don't put yourself in a situation where you find yourself lying or trying to impress them. It's an overcompensation they'll pick up on. Think about this. If they contact you and you're like, oh yeah, I just saw a couple of women this weekend and it went really well. Ha ha ha. I just went down to the Ferrari dealership. I'm probably going to get that because I got a bonus at work. Just don't overdo how great things are for you if they really aren't. They'll pick up on that. It's shallow, and it's not gonna work in your benefit. Number one, gauge your excitement or anxiety. So if they contact you and you missed a call or you missed a text, gauge it. Ask yourself, why am I so nervous? Why am I shaking right now? If it's too high, cut the conversation short or don't answer until you feel less emotional. Being overly emotional is probably not going to be a good thing, because if they say one thing and you take it the wrong way, you could just ruin the whole opportunity just based on sheer emotion. Number two, do not ask if they've been seeing someone else. Just a suggestion. 3, do not tell them what they should be doing or can't be doing. This happens a lot. I've had it in past breakups, and that's why I didn't talk, that's why I broke up, because a lot of times when you break up, you're not happy with your ex's or your partner's behavior. And when you broke up, you probably broke up over some of their habits, some of their values. And then if they contact you back and you throw it back in their face that they've been drinking too much or partying too much, and that's what they're doing now, it's not really going to make a difference. It's just going to annoy them. And so if that's some kind of a tactic to make you feel better, it's certainly not going to be a tactic that is going to get you back together. Number 4, do not have a long drawn out conversation about the breakup and why. If you've already talked about it before, going over it again for what? Reassurance, clarity. If you're going to sit there and if you feel like that's where it's going, go, look, we've already talked about this. I'm pretty clear on why we broke up. We don't need to go over this again. If you don't want to rekindle things or possibly go out, that's just fine, but we don't need to go over these things again. And cut the conversation and take control of the situation. Number 5, stay neutral, stay stoic. Stoic means showing no pain or no pleasure. Number 6, don't talk a lot about yourself and how great you're doing, especially if it's not true. How many times do you like in conversations when someone tells you how great they're doing and you're in a breakup and you don't feel really good about things? Number 7, you end the conversation on your terms. You got shit to do. You got stuff going on. You don't want to drag out a long conversation when it's the first time you guys talk, unless it's been 6 or 7 months or 5 months and you feel really good about things. You got a lot to catch up on and it's not texting. Then you can continue on and you feel like the conversation's flowing really nice. Okay, but for the most part, if it's just one of those check-ins, oh, why haven't you called me? It's only been 3 weeks. Don't get into a deep conversation on that. 8, don't be available anytime, anywhere they want. So if they say, oh, I'd really like to see you, you go, oh, I'm available Friday at 8 o'clock and I got Sunday afternoon. Don't go, what's good for you? 9, don't talk or text for too long. Set up a date or a meeting. Okay. Number 10, if they drop the friends thing on you, drop the I'll think about it. So maybe if you don't want to say like, oh, I don't want to be friends, go, yeah, maybe I'll think about it and just leave the conversation on that. Or say, yeah, if you really want to be friends, let's meet up and just see what happens when we're in each other's presence. But for the most part, if they drop that on you and you don't want it, don't continue to explain why you don't want to be friends. Don't make that a 10, 20-minute conversation. Number 11, the bonus. Dun, 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 dun. If you broke up because you're insecure, because you're out of shape, because you're overweight, because you're jobless, because you're controlling. Fix that before you get back together, because that problem's the elephant in the room. That's not going away. That actually takes time. And so if you guys get back together because you're lonely, but you're really out of shape and you're insecure and you're really overweight and your money's a problem, get that shit on deck first, because that'll come back up and pop back up again and again.